The record coldest high for tomorrow is 29, set back in 1903. And I'm forecasting a record cold high. See what's in store in your Skywatch forecast.
Well, despite the extreme cold, some of the homeless are still braving the elements to live on their own terms.
Why burned out batteries are taking more of a hit on your bank statement. Plus, 2 UT football players off the field and under investigation for alleged rape.
And a really busy afternoon for Nashville traffic, with probably more people coming into town right now for the Titans game as there are going out. The roads to avoid in steer clear traffic. Fox 17 News at 5:30 starts now.
You're watching Fox 17 News at 5:30.
Winter weather whips snow, sleet, and cold temps into the mid-state. Team coverage tonight for you from the Fox 17 studio on the road conditions.
Fox 17's Eric Alvarez explains how the cold hits your battery and your paycheck. But first, let's send it out to Skywatch 17 Chief Meteorologist Katie Morgan live at LP Field with the Titans Monday night football game forecast.
Gonna be cold.
Ooh, Scott and Stacy, I will tell you guys, it is chilly down here on the field, and I'll tell you what it is. It's making it feel so cold. It's the wind. Now, temperatures, of course, are in the 20s right now, but you look behind me, every so often you'll see the goalpost flags up there kind of waving around. We're looking at those breezy winds, most likely 10 to 15 miles per hour, and that is going to put a dent in the temperature with wind chills by the end of the game, reading in the single digits. That's what we're forecasting as we head towards the later part of the football game. Now, just for fun, I went ahead and looked at the last 5 years of home games. This is the coldest game in the past 5 years here at home for the Titans, with temperatures reading in the upper 20s. Of course, most of the other ones in the afternoon, but very cold here down at LP Field. Of course, the football players have got their heaters all ready to go. They're stay warm throughout the game, and boy, they're going to need everything to stay warm throughout the evening here, because again, temperatures are dropping quickly this evening. Everything is getting geared up, ready to go. You can hear the music is playing. Everybody's hyped up. It's Monday Night Football. We're going to have a good time. The good news is not expecting any precipitation, but every so often I'm seeing some snow flurries. So something else, I think, to add to the excitement of Monday Night Football here. We want to send it back into meteorologist Barack Shapiro now. He's got more on the cold forecast. Barack?
Yeah, Katie, and speaking of those flurries, we're going to start off a look with your satellite and radar here, because you can see what we're looking at. It's not a lot. This is a little bit overdone, but it does show you that we are seeing some batches of some light flurries across the mid-state, and that will continue as we get into the early part of the evening. Again, as Katie mentioned, the big story here are the temperatures. We are now down into the upper 20s to mid-20s across the mid-state. And that wind, oh, it's going to make it feel awful out there. Already feeling like 19 here in Nashville, 18 in Hopkinsville, 17 in Clarksville. And as that wind continues to whip up and the temperatures fall, those wind chills will go down. So for those of you headed to the Titans game, temperatures will be in the upper 20s, 9 o'clock 22, and at 11 o'clock we are talking 20 degrees. Quick look at some lows across the mid-state. We're talking 12 in Cadiz, 14 in Charlotte. Central spots will see those lows in the mid-teens, 16 in Nashville, 14 in Springfield. And our last pit stop will have Colmont and Tracy City at 13. Tomorrow afternoon, though, could be some record-setting cold afternoons. So we'll talk more about that in your next Skywatch forecast. Scott, take it away.
Brock, thank you. Right now, back live to LP Field with more on the Monday Night Football matchup between the Titans and the Steelers. Fox 17 Sports Director Paul Jones live with an exclusive interview with one of the men who's going to be calling the game. I retweeted you tonight to you and John Gruden. Very cool.
Yes, it was very cool, Scott. A real pleasure to speak with the ESPN analyst. He knows so much about football, especially quarterbacks. Tonight, Gruden breaks down the battle of the burgers.
One of these burgers has a lot on it. You know, he's got playmaking, history, experience, supporting cast, continuity, and I'm talking Ben Roethlisberger. The other Mettenberger kid has just got arm talent. He's got a tremendous opportunity to add some things to his game. But I'm going to take the Steelers in a must-win, but I think Tennessee is going to make it competitive because they're scary on defense. They can do some good things.
So right now, Mettenberger's just a burger and a bun?
He's just a burger right now. It's a big burger. He's got some arm talent on there, but I want to see him add some layers to make that thing, you know, a little bit more appetizing.
More of my exclusive sit-down interview with John Gruden tonight during Fox 17 News at 9, including whether he thinks Jake Locker was benched too early this season. Live at LP Field, Paul Jones, Fox 17 Sports.
Right now, dropping temperatures are bringing skyrocketing prices. Car batteries are about to give out because of the cold, and they are not cheap. Fox 17's Eric Alvarez live at Metro Center tonight to tell us why we only have ourselves to blame. Eric?
Well, that's what they're saying, Stacy. Now, tonight, car experts tell me the milder winters of recent years led to fewer dead batteries, and that in turn led to fewer drivers recycling those batteries when they bought new ones like this one. Now, apparently that is driving up the cost of lead which is found in these batteries, and it seems we're all paying the price for it this year.
It's a sound many of us take for granted. Your car battery pumping electricity to the engine so you can get to work. But the winter weather could stop your battery cold.
We saw our calls double yesterday, and the light service vehicles, those that are going out on battery jumps and flat tires and gas situations.
AAA Regional Director Glenn McClendon says the company doubled their stock of batteries ahead of this first cold snap.
When your battery goes, it causes all sorts of problems, and that means it's going to have to be replaced.
Now, if that happens, you should probably be prepared to spend more on one of these than you might think.
I mean, they've definitely gone up in the last few years. You know, the days of $50, $60 batteries were over.
Greg Bowner is the manager at Batteries and Bulbs in South Nashville, where the staff will test your battery and put in a new one if you need it.
A lot of batteries average around $100 these days, and it's just kind of the way it is, unfortunately.
The staff also takes your old battery and recycles it, something Bowner says drivers have not been doing as much in recent years.
If it is milder weather, yeah, we're not going to get as much business.
And that's part of the reason the cost of lead keeps going up.
There's just more worldwide demand. With more demand comes a higher price on the raw materials.
Now, battery problems can also be very dangerous. If your car battery dies on you, you're probably not going to have any way of heating the car or charging your cell phone if you're stuck out on the side of the road. That's why the AAA urges everyone to have a blanket in your car. Also keep some water handy and try your very best to keep your cell phone handy and also charged. Reporting live in Metro Center, Eric Alvarez, Fox 17 News.
Now, despite the cold, there is a lot of traffic out there on mid-state roads. One of the slowest spots in town right now, 65 around Rosa Parks. A lot of folks who are trying to get north, but right now there's also a lot of folks who are trying to get south because of the Titans game. So watch out for that. I will remind folks that the normal road closures, including Woodland Street, are in place right now around Titan Stadium. So if you normally exit town that way, not tonight. Now, as we move along, there was a really big slowdown that has just cleared up in the last few minutes here at I-40, just east of West End Avenue. The folks on the right are all headed out toward 65. Remains busy after the crash, but things are moving along very nicely. Out by the airport, 58 miles an hour, 67 as you approach the county line. South of town, around Oak Hill, things start to pick up a little bit. And south of Brentwood, this is volume, no wrecks or stalled cars. We'll have another steer clear traffic report for you right here on Fox 17 News at 5:30 in about 10 minutes. Right now, Knoxville police and the University of Tennessee are investigating 2 UT football players. They are accused of raping 2 students at a party over the weekend. Fox 17 sports reporter Dave Foster live in studio now with the latest on the investigation. Dave?
Well, the victims told investigators linebacker A.J. Johnson and defensive back Michael Williams raped them at the Woodland Apartments across the Tennessee River from campus. Tennessee coach Butch Jones says he's following the investigation closely.
You know, the thing I want to do is I want to be right rather than fast. And so we'll continue to gather information, and based on what we have at that particular time, we will determine whether or not they will practice. But if there's any thing of it, then they won't practice.
The Vols have suspended Johnson and Williams from all team-related activities. This isn't the first time this year that Johnson has faced charges. Back in February, police arrested him for buying alcohol for minors, but the judge later dropped that. We'll keep an eye on the story and bring you the latest on it as we learn more. Dave Foster, Fox 17 News.
New information on controversial Common Core standards in your child's classroom. 2 state senators filed a bill to let Tennessee make its own standards. Common Core is a set of math and language guidelines found in most states. Senator Dolores Gresham and Senator Mike Bell say the bill lets Tennessee students improve with state control over education. Today, as the Titans fight for a win, the stadium honors 2 people who fought for our country. Operation Warrior Wishes is a nonprofit that takes wounded warriors to sporting events across the country. Founders Craig and Matt Steichen traveled to all 32 NFL stadiums in just 17 weeks. Well, they're in Music City today to honor the Gold Star family of fallen soldier Corey Kowal and Andrew Smith, who lost both his legs in Afghanistan when he stepped on an IED.
It's awesome to know that there's people out there. Craig and Matt are just so passionate and thankful, because the job is hard, and it's just cool to get to know them and become friends with them, really, and to just have these experiences.
Warrior Wishes treated the families to lunch downtown before heading to LP Field for tonight's big game.
And right now, a live picture from downtown, the Fox 17 Sky Eye of Bridgestone Arena, where March Madness will certainly shake Music City up in 2018. The National Sports Council announces that it will host the first round of the NCAA men's basketball tournament, and they say it's a great opportunity. Music City besting 60 other cities for the right to host the preliminary rounds of the basketball tournament. 2012 was the last time the men's tournament held games here in Nashville.
Next on Fox 17 News, why local homeless people will risk hypothermia before accepting help in the below freezing weather.
And why part of Missouri is under a state of emergency right now with a curfew.
And here's a look at loads across the central spots of the mid-state that will be more than 30 below average. So what's the good news? Much warmer weather is around the corner. I'll show you that in your Skywatch forecast.
And we are continuing to watch heavier than normal traffic northbound on 65 right around Brentwood, headed into Nashville, possibly for the ball game tonight. We've got another traffic report coming up. You're watching Fox 17 News at 5:30.
Win $500 in groceries with the Fox 17 Thanksgiving Grocery Giveaway. Watch Fox 17 News at 9 for the keyword, then text it to 45203 or fill out an entry form at fox17.com. Daily winners get a $100 grocery gift card. The grand prize winner gets a $500 grocery gift card. Contest ends November 26th.
Happening now, dangerous temperatures across the mid-state, making things especially difficult for our homeless. Despite the cold, some are just determined to stay out on those streets. Fox 17's Erica Lathan joins us live from Murfreesboro with the story tonight. Erica?
Well, Stacy, we can tell you that places like the Journey Home here in Murfreesboro, well, they offer a number of resources to help the city's low income and homeless. But we learned today that despite all of that help, there are a number of homeless residents who will risk hypothermia and other health problems just so they can stay on the street and remain independent.
This is where I lay down.
Temperatures will dip into the teens, but Charles Beavers plans to sleep under the bridge he calls home.
I'm just fine. I got me a nice warm jacket, a lot of blankets, and a piece of foam to lay on. That's where I'm comfortable.
Beavers occasionally stops in for a meal and a shower at the Journey Home. The agency provides meals twice a day for the city's homeless and low income.
They can come get free coats, they can layer their coats, all they need. We have blankets, we're donating lots of blankets. We double up and give them blankets. We give them food, snack bags. You're like these.
It's 4-year-old Anna's birthday. She and her grandmother are picking out warm clothes.
News Radio WGNS.
WGNS Radio is one of the businesses collecting blankets and tarps for those living on the streets.
But we try to convince them, you can die in that weather. I mean, that's not something you want to sleep in without a tent and without a sleeping bag that's made for those temperatures. But some of them will just insist, no, I'm good.
Emergency shelters will also be available tonight.
We really try to make sure that regardless of your circumstance, regardless of your situation tonight, that you know you're welcome and you've got a safe place to be. So most of them will come in, yes.
But some won't. And you can see this sign, the emergency shelter will be open tonight and tomorrow night, and they'll be going around the city picking up homeless residents at different specified locations just to get them out of the cold, and they do that anytime the temperatures dip below 30 degrees. We're live in Murfreesboro. Erica Lathan, Fox 17 News.
Right now to Ferguson, Missouri, where that area is under a state of emergency. Missouri's Governor Jay Nixon issued that executive order a few hours ago in front of expected grand jury decisions in the shooting death of teenager Michael Brown. The governor is preparing for the possibility of unrest. We've seen it already. Once the grand jury decides whether criminal charges are warranted against Ferguson police officer Darren Wilson. The governor's deploying the National Guard's troops into the city. The state of emergency is set to be in place for 30 days. Unless another issue or order, I should say, is issued. As soon as that grand jury reports, Fox 17 will break into programming and bring you the story live on the air.
A Fox 17 Waste Watch investigation gets action tonight on Rutherford County. It's costing taxpayers $88,000 a year to feed inmates on styrofoam trays, and it's clogging the landfill as well, despite having that new $25,000 dishwasher. Tonight, because of our Waste Watch report, the Rutherford County Sheriff will go before the County Commission just in the next few minutes to justify disposable trays. The outcome tonight on Fox 17 News at 9.
We had some light snow showers this morning, and this really nifty picture sent in from John Fleming here for the morning show, showing that he wrote in Bob, Aaron, Jen, and Craig's name here, and Fox 17 you can see here on the patio, just a light coating. Most of us did just get some light snow this morning. I know I saw basically a couple of snowflakes around some of the trees, but that was about it. The real story will now turn to the bitterly cold air coming our way, so that will be our impacts for those of you who have your pipes on the outsides of your homes, or you do have a crawl space. You're going to really want to make sure that those pipes are protected. In the plateau area, could still see a little bit of some light snow during the overnight hours, so that could cause some slippery spots in the morning if you leave around 4, 5, or 6, so be advised of that. And for tomorrow afternoon, just bundle up. It is going to be a brutally cold day, even for a winter day, and we're only in fall right now. So here's a look at what's going on your Skywatch Live Doppler, and we do have a couple of light snow showers here still in the northwestern zone. You can see it around Cadiz and Hopkinsville. This is pushing off to the east-southeast, so for those of you in Clarksville, hey, you might still see a light snow shower over the next hour or two. Okay, let's take a look at those temperatures. It's 29 here in Nashville. It's 28 in Dickson as well as Columbia, 25 already in Crossville. When you put the wind into the equation, feeling like 17 in Hopkinsville and Clarksville, 14 in Crossville, 19 here in Nashville. Again, if you're going to the Titans game tonight, oh, just make sure you got all those layers on. So here's the forecast for your Tuesday. We're going to start off at around 16. By 8 o'clock, move up to 17. The wind chill, though, will be 6. As we go to lunchtime, 25, and the wind chill will be about 9. The high will be 29 tomorrow. That is the record for tomorrow for the coldest high, which was set back in 1903. So a very cold day there. And then by 10 o'clock, dropping down to about 22. Here's a look at your Skywatch 7-day. It does get better. We've kind of got temperatures moving into the mid-40s for Wednesday. But then another system kind of reinforces the mid-40s through Friday. Then we get a southerly flow in here, and that helps to warm temperatures up nicely. We're talking mid-50s on Saturday. Small chance of rain there, but then a better shot at some wet weather, even some thunderstorms on Sunday. The high there will be about 60, and then on Monday, a 30% chance for a few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Scott, the high there, much better than tomorrow's. It's topping out at 61.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Barack. Right now, steer clear traffic seems to be impacted by the prospect of the Titans' Monday night football game. Right now on 65 northbound and also on 24 westbound into town, we seem to have as many cars coming into town right now as there are trying to get out. Here is a live look at 65 just north of Concord Road, and you see it. It's pretty much even Steven between who's headed north and who's headed south. Busy but moving. That's the good news. Now here on Interstate 24, right around the 440 junction, you see as many cars coming in as going out. We do have some traffic eastbound right at the 440 junction. There was a crash in the left-hand lane. It's slowing things down, but things seem to be improving right now. What will it mean for you if you're headed outbound through, outbound, I should say, out from Antioch through South Nashville all the way to 840 in the borough? It's going to take you about 7 minutes longer than normal, about a 28-minute ride. Stacy?
Next on Fox 17 News, well-known artists coming together for a cause, the meaning behind this Christmas tune.
While you need to savor the sweets while you can right now, the crisis driving up the price of chocolate.
Bring peace and joy this Christmas to West Africa.
Listening to Seal there, several stars singing to help stop the Ebola epidemic. One Direction, Bono, Coldplay's Chris Martin, and others collaborating on an updated version of Do They Know It's Christmas? Philanthropist Bob Geldof is behind this new anthem. All the proceeds go to his charities, Band Aid Trust, but you can buy the song online right now.
And some not so sweet news for chocolate lovers. Chocolate makers Mars Incorporated and Barry Callebaut say the demand will outweigh supply for this tasty treat in about 6 years. The majority of cocoa is produced in West Africa, but drought and disease there forcing farmers to turn to corn.
In a special Waste Watch investigation, blowing your hard-earned money on nothing. Empty bank accounts open for no reason, and it continues to cost us money. Closing the accounts is as simple as entering a closeout code. So what's keeping federal agencies from following an order from the White House to do just that?
It's not only surprising, it's horrifying, because this is elemental. Nobody in their daily household lives would keep empty bank accounts and pay all sorts of crazy bank fees. That's just stupid.
Tonight on Fox 17 News at 9, Erica Curry's questions that get action to stop this wasteful spending in a special Waste Watch investigation at 9.
And final traffic begins up on the north side, 67 miles an hour, 65 northbound as you approach Vietnam Veterans Boulevard. Here's what it looks like, a parade of lights headed north. But again, everybody's moving. The folks on the left-hand side there, those that are headed northbound, and southbound traffic possibly headed into the game over on the other side of the road. And right now, some fairly heavy traffic. Interstate 24 at Harding Place, we had a crash at 440 and 24 a little while ago, which is probably adding to this volume. Normally a little lessened than it is right now at this time of the day.
All right, Katie's out in it tonight, isn't she? You'll be out at 9 live at LP Field.
I will, and I'll be bundled up. We're talking
you will.
temperatures in the 20s, wind chills in the teens for the Titans game tonight. Tomorrow, record high possible for a cold high. We'll talk more about that in your Scout forecast at 9:10.
Heavy coat, battery-powered gloves.
All you got.
He does have
everything
battery-powered
you got.
gloves.
I do. They're awesome.